MC Analytics Daily Market Commentary. I'm Pablo Navarro. Today is September 26, 2012. For the market internals, the New York Stock Exchange advanced decline differential closed at negative 764. Nasdaq advanced decline differential closed at negative 637. We had two 52-week highs for the S&P 500 and five new 52-week lows for the S&P 500. You could notice here the shift in internals that we're getting. We had 109 last week, new 52-week highs, and now we're shifting to only two, and the number of 52-week highs is starting to increase here. We don't want that to keep up if maybe we're getting a pullback. For the volatility, we had 458,000 contracts traded on the VIX today, with 82 million in total premiums paid. We have fairly good volume here on the VIX. Dollar weighted put call ratio in October 0.67 with 30% of the total premiums paid, and another big one in January, a 0.62% 62 reading, which is neutral with 31% of the total premiums paid. Here we have the daily chart for SPX. We got the pullback we wanted. We talked about this 1434 level here, Zero Sigma, and this is basically where we closed. We closed down today 8.26 handles for the day, and we are now reversed somewhat from the highs of the year, which is significant. Important thing to note here is that we broke the 0.6 and we closed below it. That's kind of important here on the daily chart, but I want a confirmation tomorrow to see what's gonna happen tomorrow. We have some important numbers coming out, and Friday again, so I want to see what happens from here to Friday. Where are we closing in terms of this Zero Sigma line? I want a confirmation tomorrow and Friday. What's gonna happen here after the data comes out? As for targets, in case are gonna look for lower prices, we're looking for 1415 and then 1400. Those are gonna be the targets we have here in mind. And if we do come back up here, looking for maybe a bounce up for new highs. The reason new highs here, we had perfectly good run up for a couple of months after this choppy market for a month and a half, and then this small pullback, a bull flag. Now maybe we're waiting to see another new high of the year. That's what I'm waiting for here, but I want a confirmation of 2 days before taking here our next target. So as of today, we're gonna leave it with the up and down target. By the end of the week, we're gonna have a bias here. For our support, pivot, and resistance, we broke today everything basically here. You can see we talked about being in a very narrow range, but today we opened lower, touched weekly support number 3. We broke it for some time, then we bounced back off that and basically stayed around that level, close there. So important level. We talked about this level yesterday at 1434, let's call it, and we closed at 1433.32. We could call that very, very close here. So as from here, we're waiting tomorrow. Maybe we want to pull back. Bounce from here, looking for 1441, maybe 1451. That's gonna be a good bounce here of the lows, and maybe put in a low of the week already. That's gonna be depending on what we get from the data from GDP and Chicago PMI. A couple of important numbers are coming out. SPY, let's go here. And we talked yesterday about getting a number here in SPY. 144, 143.72, both of them are met here. Our pullback that we wanted is here. So maybe we're starting to wanting to see upper prices here, maybe get a bounce from these levels and go toward the 144.67, 145 level. That will be pretty good here as the market starts to hold on to this pullback and start to rally. We're gonna see after here, we're gonna see some couple of oscillators to see what's happening with the internals of the market. We do want to close above these levels Friday. Important to close above the 144.23. That's gonna be our Zero Sigma for the Qs. Today again down for the day. Apple not doing well at all today. Again another third day. And yesterday, after the outside bar reversal to the downside, today we had another down day, confirming the sentiment for lower prices. We want to see 68 today. We touched that level. The low today was 67.85 and we closed a little higher. Pretty good here. We want maybe to come test that low, fail to break it, and go back higher, maybe to the 70 level. So that's here the plan. Try to test this level tomorrow, fail, and go to the 70. That's for the Qs. Let's go to the Russell 2000 ETF. Here we have the IWM, and of course we're starting with the daily chart. Here we could see, of course, we have a down day for the IWM, losing 0.81% today. Very interesting bounce from the bottom of the day here from the lows. We could see here we talked about we wanting to test this previous highs here. Well, we got it today. Want to check tomorrow, but here pretty interesting resistance, support, sorry, at this low that we marked today. Today was low for today 82.84. We talked about 82.80s, 82.50s. Those are gonna be the levels to watch here on the low. So we want to be careful here that we do not break the lows and close below them during this week. And after that, if that is the case, pretty bullish here. After holding this resistance maybe for a new high of the year on the risk on risk off index, which is the Russell 2000 ETF. Let's look at gold, GLD. In GLD, important here, reversal also. We have a hammer for the day. Green also 0.50% lower for the day, but we bounced off 0 sigma. Important level to hold, 168.13. We talked about that level. Maybe here we're starting to go higher after some reversal here from the lows, and try to hit that 172, 173 level that we talked about. We wanted to hold the 20-day moving average, very important level here to hold. As we could see here on this chart, we had talked about having a bear flag here that we started to have. Now we broke down lower on the futures overnight, but then we were able to bounce back up intraday, which is a bullish reversal here on GLD. Here we have the McClellan oscillator. We are right now at oversold levels. This is not an extreme here. You could see here that was the last time, but when we get to below 300, that is when you start seeing an extreme here, maybe for a possible bounce. But still we are on oversold levels, not extremely, but somewhat we could call it oversold. Very oversold. We could mark it from here, from the 200 level, negative 200 level, and below negative 300 level is pretty oversold. So we're gonna watch here what happens. Maybe a little more of a pullback, and then ready to bounce off higher. We have a special offer by TradeStation. Get your Hamsey Analytics proprietary indicators paid by TradeStation. Contact Active Traders office in Chicago, Peter Albino, at the number listed below. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.